Hello there, my very good friends. On today's wrestling news, Nick Khan goes completely insane and torches AEW.
Triple H talks about NXT stars getting complacent when they move to the main roster.
AEW has a new signing and his name is Josh Alexander.
And an update on Darby Allin climbing Everest. I'm Adam Wilborn.
And I'm Andy Murray.
And this is the news from Las Vegas.
We're here, we're in front of the famous Spike and all the other shiny stuff.
Bean.
In the bean, there it is. That's the bean. That's where they had UFC that time, isn't it?
Indeed.
The bean, right. Let's kick this one off. Our first Las Vegas video. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. We're going to talk about Nick Khan, right, in this interview he's done with Bill Simmons. It got everyone talking. It got everyone annoyed at certain comments. I just think it's kind of funny. So we're going to go through that. So Nick Khan, if you don't know, he's the president of WWE. He is secretly the most powerful man in pro wrestling because he's higher than Triple H. I guess you could list a bunch of Endeavor people up there as well, but you know, for people who are involved in day-to-day wrestling, Nick Khan is the boy, and when he talks about this, it's quite, you know, it resonates a little bit more than if it was just, say, Steve from accounts. He was talking about signing wrestlers, and one of the big quotes that got people going here was, "We're always the underdog at WWE." That's a great start, isn't it? Accurate, if anything. We always feel that people underestimate us, that we're looked down upon, and we like it that way. Bet against us, we prefer that, and allow us to show you what we can do. Okay, sure. But in terms of other wrestling in terms of the other wrestling promotional company, that's what he calls it. The other wrestling promotional company.
That's how we're referring to them. Okay.
Yeah, they have a lot of talented wrestlers, and we're happy about that. When contractually they're available to be talked to and have conversations with, assume a number of them will come over. A number of them have already come over, haven't they? The kicker that really pissed people off, and nothing but respect for the father who finances it and owns the Jaguars and all those other things. So it's a Khan war here.
Yes.
Nick versus Tony. He's showing respect to Shad, so that's good. So the big man's not getting involved. How do you feel about it?
Yeah, I mean, like, it's very interesting, this, in terms of the way that he perceives WWE in this. I mean, it's not a war anymore, but whatever this is between WWE and AEW. Yeah. He also talked about signing people, but definitely not benching people. Not too sure about that one either, to be perfectly honest.
He doesn't wrestle often these days, does he? You know.
So it's one of those things. I think, they always take little snipey comments at each other, but this is a little bit ridiculous to say.
We're the underdog is extremely funny. You've got millions and billions and squillions of pounds. Neither of those companies are underdogs.
But taking this in a positive light, I suppose, exciting that they are talking about snatching talent away from AEW. Like, I always like to see people jump whatever direction they're going.
Yeah, jumps are fun. Jumps are fun. Like, this is the business that we wanted for all those years when it was a monopoly. I do believe that maybe they would quite like it to be a monopoly again.
Yeah.
But for as long as there is a viable alternative that can pay a comparable wage and offer creative and national TV and stuff, we're in a good place. You got mischief in your face.
Well, I'm just very excited because before we move on to our next story, we have to have a word from our sponsors.
You like sharks?
It's WrestleMania week. We are here in Las Vegas, courtesy of Surfshark, who are sponsoring all of our content. And Surfshark's VPN is just fantastic. It makes sure all of your stuff stays private and secure when you're out and about online, and there's a 30-day money-back guarantee too. Not only that, but it allows you to change your virtual location to access all your favorite content as well, which means you can watch all of WWE shows on Netflix, not just Raw, but SmackDown and NXT too. Plus, no ads whatsoever, which means you'd also get to see all the extra content us Brits get to see, stuff like this.
Can I have an autograph, please?
Your town sucks, kid! Just click the link in the description and use code WhatCultureMania at checkout to get 4 extra months of Surfshark VPN.
Thanks once again for getting us here to Las Vegas. But moving on to our next story, let's talk Triple H. He was on the High Performance podcast talking about NXT stars moving to the main roster. He had some interesting comments about that, saying, "I can't tell you how many talent I see come through our developmental system in phenomenal shape, work ethic, they look great, their stamina, they never blow up in the ring, everything's spot on, they do everything right, they get brought up to Raw or SmackDown, they start on a journey, and 6 months in, I'm like, this guy can barely tell he's the same guy from 6 months ago. They get out of shape, they stop training so hard. So that's a learning curve of doing it on the road versus doing it in the Performance Center, all those things. But becoming complacent was the term he also used here. I can't pinpoint exactly who he's trying to gun for here.
We just sat in the bar there and between us tried to figure out who he was talking about. And we couldn't get to it.
Like it is very different. Obviously, yeah, if you're on NXT for the most part, aside from like this week or whatever, you're not on the road, you're not doing live events, you're just doing a weekly show that you're practicing for throughout the week, basically, and you're doing it at the Performance Center. So it's a lot easier, as we all know, for those sorts of stars to stay in shape. I suppose it's maybe seen in a nice way as a bit of a kick up the arse to people of just like, be aware when you move up to the main roster, it's not going to be all sunshine and rainbows. But I don't know, I can't think of anyone from NXT straight away that pops into my mind that's become complacent and just sort of taken their foot off the gas since they moved to the main roster.
Yeah, that's the thing. And a lot of, if somebody's struggling on the main roster, it's probably because of their creative and their booking.
Yeah.
Like, people really got into the Carmelo Hayes-Andrade feud last year. What happened to both of them? Andrade barely wrestles at the moment. I know he's been in segments and stuff recently. And Carmelo Hayes is over here messing around with The Miz. The Miz, he's been doing the same character for 58 years.
They are us him.
No, yeah, okay. I'll be playing the role of Michael Sidgwick for this one. But no, to me, right, the stuff that Triple H says here, right, yes, it can be interpreted as a bit of a boot up the arse. This should be a private conversation.
Yes.
This is a performance review. If you're at work and if Phil is my manager, if he stood up in front of the entire room at work and went, Andy, you're getting complacent and fat. I would like fat, fair play, but complacent. No, that's rude. That's a private conversation
Yes.
that he's having with Jake Humphries for some reason. What's going on?
What are we doing?
I don't know, but yeah, it's an interesting couple of stories to lead this.
Yeah.
Triple H and Nick Khan just going off, or insofar as they will go off.
Yeah, I don't know why they felt the need this week in particular to be like, it's time to fire some shots off. It's WrestleMania week. Let's just get excited about that, shall we?
Yeah. We're in Egypt. We're in Egypt for the
Where's
occasion.
Bradley?
Exactly. I'm looking for Mo Salah and Bailey, obviously. Amir Zaki. Hey,
Yes.
there you go.
That's another one.
Let's talk some AEW now,
Yes,
right?
big Dynamite.
Let's talk about big.
Last night when you're seeing this, I suppose.
Yeah, it's weird. Time zones are so strange.
We've been awake for about 30 hours.
Yeah, I'm going to bed after this. Got to make the thumbnail first. I'll
Yeah.
make it juicy. Josh Alexander is All Elite. That's the story. He was the wild card in the ongoing Owen Cup tournament, of course. Wrestled Hangman Page on last night's Dynamite, or tonight's.
Dynamite.
He didn't win.
Breakthrough.
He didn't win.
No.
Josh didn't win. It's a hard-fought battle. He ended up losing. I think it was a roll-up. We watched it on a phone in a bar because we were struggling for a TV. But that's not the end of the story.
No.
It's not just that AEW has taken this free agent off the board. This very talented wrestler who had a great run in TNA recently. Well, recently for like 5 years.
Yeah.
He also pulled a bit of a swerve on the night. After the match with Hangman, Kyle Fletcher and Don Fallis came down to the ring. Kyle Fletcher looking to start some argy-bargy with Hangman because they face in the next round of the tournament. It looked like Don Callis, what is it Excalibur calls him, the living laxative, had a little word in the ear of Josh Alexander, and Josh Alexander just went rage and beat the hell out of Hangman.
A hell of a new addition.
So he's in he comes in, he has the flipping good match as a babyface, and then he goes and turns heel. And he's in the Don Callis family. He's got a great mouthpiece in Don Callis.
Yeah.
It's a good first night.
I really like, Josh Alexander, and I think this is a great get for AEW. We talked a lot over recent weeks and months about, him being this free agent that understandably everyone would want to try and sign. I think WWE have been fairly open in trying to get him as well, but we all probably anticipated that AEW was the way he was going to go. A hell of an introduction here. Unfortunately, losing on his first night, but like you say, the overarching thing is now he's a member of Don Callis family. He's a heel. He's sort of set up there. Welcome to Vegas, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm really excited to see what happens next with him. It was a very really enjoyable Dynamite, in fact. Like you say, we didn't probably get the full experience of it through the way we had to watch it in a bar here in Vegas, but phenomenal match, surprise, between Ospreay and Takeshita. Spoilers here, but while you're watching this, if you haven't watched Dynamite, Mercedes Moné defeated Athena in a really tight contest, a very hard-hitting contest as well. And we can't forget to mention what happened in the main event of the evening. We have new Trios champions. It's not the Death Riders!
Hey, it's the Ops.
It's the Ops, sort of. It's 2/3 of the Ops, with a new addition, because Powerhouse Hobbs took the place of Hook, and they, battered the Death Riders in a very fun main event of the evening, because everyone got involved, not just usual suspects like Marina Shafir, but Willow got involved when Mox was trying to use a chair. The Bucks came down at one point, but they were taken out by a returning Swerve Strickland, and in the end, Mox was the one who was choked out by Samoa Joe. Very interesting to see that sort of a direction for Jon Moxley going forward.
Personally, I think they should just make Samoa Joe the world champion again. That was great. It was only 2 months. It was great. Do it again. Why not?
Fine by me. Anyone other than Mox, to be perfectly honest. But yeah, a really, really enjoyable Dynamite. Very eventful. Do let us know your thoughts on it in the comments section below. And don't forget to check out Ups and Downs from Las Vegas with Simon Miller as well. But probably. It's a different world, this. But let's conclude by talking about Darby Allin. He's been missing for quite some time now. Last time we saw him was the Continental Classic, of course. Since then, he has been training to climb Everest. His climb officially started back on April the 8th. And Adventure Consultants have been tracking what Darby has been up to. And they shared an update on his climb. Today, writing, today our Everest private team said goodbye to the trekkers and hiked from Ferichi to Chikung, an elevation gain of 530 meters. Darby is doing great. It took 3.5 hours. It was a nice clear day with great views. Tomorrow we are going to continue our acclimatization with a hike to Chukung-ri, a nearby hill, which is 5,540 meters. Anyone who knows anything about climbing mountains, particularly Everest, it is not exactly a process of just like, should we just go up that there today? It is a case of acclimatization. Like, fair play to Darby Allin for even attempting this. Like, even getting to base camp it would be a phenomenal achievement, but going all the way to the top, like, he's obviously dedicated a lot of his life to this. He's taken time off previously. He was meant to do it last year, of course. But yeah, good to see he's doing well and feeling great, because that's the most important thing here.
Yeah, it's one of the most impressive things that a human can do physically and mentally. So if he summits this beast, yeah, like you say, it's not just going over to the Lake District and going up a nice little hill with a pick. There are dead bodies on that hill that are there forever because it's too dangerous to remove them. Look up some of the Everest stuff. Yeah, actually watch the movie Everest. It's really good as well. So fair play to him. I'm not really up for holding the AEW World title hostage until he comes back.
Give it to Ospreay.
Yeah. Why not? Give it to Big Will. But let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. Let us know what you think of the spike and all the other chaos going on around us. We'll have all kinds of crazy videos like this throughout the week and beyond. And hey, if you enjoyed this video right here on your screen right now, it's WrestleMania week, so you've got to watch the 100 greatest WrestleMania moments. You know that crap list of matches WWE's doing? Ignore that. Watch this. This is the good.
Check it out. Bye.
Yep.